Hey everybody, it's me, Chris, and this is Amazing Fantasy Football. Joining us as always is our reliable yet I got nothing co-host, Josh.
I don't like you anymore. Reliable, but what, like reliable?
I don't know why reliable.
That's awesome. Like a ringing endorsement for me. He's reliable.
I don't know, because I'm tired, and off the top of my head, it was like we were like 2 minutes till 10, and I was like, there he is.
I've been waiting. I was waiting for you.
I know. You get up at 3:30 every morning because you're hardcore. Right? We get it.
No.
Oh, and you're old too. That's right.
No, I get up at 3:30 rarely. Get up at 4.
Okay, it was a slight. Exactly. I was just gonna say a slight over exaggeration.
Anyways, how you doing today, Chris?
I don't know. I'm a little tired. Didn't sleep well, mostly because I tend to stay up too late. Wasn't the issue last night. I went to bed early AF, which of course caused me to get up at like 1 or 2. Couldn't sleep. Nothing, nothing outside keeping me awake. Just because I had slept all day that day. Apparently I needed to catch up on some sleep, and then I was nodding off after dinner. I'm like, oh man, awesome, I'm gonna go to sleep early, this will work out great. And I put Lizzie to bed, fell asleep in her bed for a moment, so it's just like by the time I laid down. Anyway, so I'm a little sleepy, but other than that, I'm looking forward to Cowboys game, looking forward to I'll say coasting, but getting into the playoffs in a couple of my few leagues.
I feel like I'm coasting in Dynasty.
Yeah. I feel like I'm running on fumes in Dynasty because I'm going to make the playoffs, but
I feel like my team is running on fumes at the moment too. Like it's really kind of sputtered here the last few weeks. And I'm probably like, I don't think there's really any way for me to not get a first round bye, which I think my team really, really needs. Like I really need to just like, people need to get healthy. And I just kind of like, I need a week to regroup with my Dynasty team.
But I think you could probably withstand an injury or two. It would hurt, but I think you could withstand it. I could not withstand an injury. So like Eckler.
Yeah, if Austin Eckler got injured today, knock on wood, we don't want him to get injured. But
no, of course not.
If you were, it would. He's been kind of I mean, Austin Eckler is really strong. He took all like 20 other guys on your Dynasty roster, threw him on his back, and he's like, "We're making the playoffs, damn it!"
The guy I was trying to trade, so I didn't make the playoffs, and here we are. So I'm just praying for some super lucky playoff run where I don't get said injury, and maybe a couple of my opposition doesn't show up to play their best game. You would be great if I happen to face you and beat you. That would be my Super Bowl. I would do a dance and burn it all to the ground after that.
Yeah, the way it's been rolling with me, it wouldn't surprise me.
Other than that, I feel pretty strong in the Friends with Benefits League. I played Jake today, which again I don't think there's.
Take him down. I'm pretty tired of his cockiness.
Yeah, I must
all
agree.
this colors bullshit and whatever.
I must agree.
So, anyways,
we got some injuries to get out of the way here. We've got a really short list, which actually concerns me. But I went all the way back to Thursday night when we did our last show. And we'll just run through some, I guess, last minute updates in case I missed them. Let's get this out of the way. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who missed most of practice last week, is listed as questionable for Sunday due to a toe injury, is expected to play versus the Titans, per sources. Tua's ankle injury, toe, not ankle, or ankle, not toe. Tua's ankle injury, a non-factor in Week 14 versus the Chargers. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, knee, did not practice for the third straight day. It looks like Tyler Huntley will get his first start of the season.
Yes.
Sunday in Pittsburgh. Giants describe running back Saquon Barkley, listed as questionable for Sunday's game due to a neck injury, as a legit 50-50, and want to see how he feels Sunday in pregame warmups before deciding whether he will play versus the Eagles, per sources. Some names to remind you: Matt Breida and Gary Brightwell are the backups.
Do you try and get either one of them if they're out there, if you're a Saquon guy, or do you pivot to maybe someone else on your roster? Like, okay, here's an example. I have him in my work league, Saquon that is, but I also have J.K. Dobbins that has been lurking in the wings for
That's my next update.
weeks. Yep. Yeah. Do you go with J.K. Dobbins or you go with Brightwell or Matt Breida? Because it's not the greatest matchup.
Isn't it
in the
Giants
world.
Eagles? It's Giants at Eagles or something like that.
Yeah,
I'd probably go Dobbins in that situation.
Dobbins is playing Pittsburgh, so
yeah,
they've been better.
Pretty bad against the pass. They're pretty decent against the run lately.
Yeah. I wonder if Baltimore is just really frustrated with the Gus Bus and Kenyon Drake right now.
Yeah, I'm just with Gus Bus.
Me too, a little bit. But I wonder if they're just kind of frustrated with them, and they're just like, J.K. Dobbins is healthy. Hopefully, he's the saving grace of this backfield, because these other two guys have been good at times, but also very, very mundane as well. Mm-hmm. That's my hope, at least.
Yeah, I picked up Dobbins on a team. I have Gus, and I hadn't gotten around to dropping Gus. I was eyeballing a couple of players, maybe for the playoff run, that I might swap him out for Gus. I'm ready to drop him, I guess, just because he hadn't done much. And he's not going to be involved through the air. Lamar's out, so maybe there won't be as many red zone touchdowns on the ground snaked. But then again, Huntley will run around a fair amount too, as far as I remember.
He's quite the mobile quarterback.
Yeah. So I think in your Saquon Dobbins situation, I'd go Dobbins. But I'm sure there's a lot of teams relying on Saquon. He might be worth the wait. It's a noon game. That's what I was pulling up the schedule for here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 50-50 is what they say.
I'm sure we'll find something out soon.
Yeah, I'm going to check it before we get out of here. J.K. Dobbins, the aforementioned, activated for Week 14 versus Steelers. No injury designation as far as I know.
J.K. Dobbins, activate.
Activate. Leonard Fournette, not seen at Friday practice. I'm going to get a little update on him before we go. Probably I think he's
still dealing with that same injury that he's been kind of. What was it? A knee? Like he sprained his knee or ankle or something?
Right.
What?
I think that's right.
Anyways, I think he's still it's the same injury that's kind of bogging him down.
Leonard Fournette is expected to play in Tampa's Week 14 matchup against San Francisco.
That's what I thought, but it's not a good. It's not a good matchup anyway. So,
San Fran.
If you can pivot away from Lenny Fofo, that's what I would do.
Zonovan, Ban McKnight, or Rachaad White? Off the top of my head, I had that question from a friend, literally from a friend this week.
Knight, mainly because of matchup.
Yep.
For Rachaad White. And, Leonard Fournette's going to be in there, too. That's the thing.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's a bad matchup. You splice Lenny Fofo in there as well. And that's really just dragging down the expected points for...
You might say that Tampa will have to throw to catch up. Therefore, White would be on the field more. However, San Francisco has Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy as his quarterback for the foreseeable future. So,
and Leonard Fournette's out there for passing downs too. So it's
but not lately.
Even lately.
That's not true. Week 13, 7 targets.
It's like a true 50-50 split with these two guys.
Maybe so.
60
in the favor of Leonard in Week 13.
Yeah, and even this week, even if it's 40% for Leonard Fournette and 60 for Rachaad White, I just what are they going to combine for? Like maybe 18, 20 points?
Yeah, of course.
You get looking at 10 or 12 points at most for White.
I would avoid it.
Yeah.
Running back Deonta Foreman dealing with a foot injury, has no injury designation, and is good to go for Sunday.
Hey, Chris, I don't have it as an injury designation either.
You don't?
I have not even had coffee today, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell my problem is.
I haven't drank coffee in weeks. I don't know why. I still like the taste. I don't know. Yeah, haven't been drinking coffee. In fact, I went to go make coffee this morning. I was like, oh man, my coffee maker needs a good cleaning. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that this morning.
That's why you haven't had coffee for a week.
No,
this thing is disgusting.
It's disgusting because I haven't used it. And no, that's the reason I didn't get coffee today. I was thinking about it. Running back Josh Jacobs will have tests on his injured pinky finger, source said, but x-rays during the game. This was from Thursday, folks. But x-rays during the game were negative, and he was able to function after it was popped into place last night. Meaning this is a report from Friday. Just for looking ahead. What's that?
This whole thing, man, I'm sorry. He was able to function with a pinky finger, oh, my pinky finger hurt. I can still do everything, though, folks. I can still play. It's
remember the
most insignificant finger on your hand.
You remember the old Ronnie Lott? Where they were like, well, no. You don't remember? Basically, he's a safety for the Niners, Hall of Famer, I believe.
I remember who he is. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
He, this is medicine in the 80s or whatever. Sideline medicine, sideline healthcare. He basically came down to, you can't go back in because we can save your I think it was pinky finger, might have been ring, because we can save your finger, or we could just lop it up, finish tearing it off, and we let you go back in. So he just lost his finger and went back in the game.
It was like the very tip of the finger.
It was a tip.
Though,
it was a tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
I left that important detail out for dramatic effect, Josh. They're like,
yeah, I do remember this.
Thumb at the bottom knuckle. No. But yeah.
Sir, you are no longer a primate. We have removed your thumbs.
So he has
so weird a hand without thumbs. Anyways,
so he has one Tony Iommi finger. That's a reference. Depending on who you ask.
Old.
I'm just saying, he has nubby fingers on his fretboard hand, whatever you call that, left hand. Anyway. Lost by place. Browns wide receiver Amari Cooper, listed as questionable for Sunday due to a hip injury, is expected to play versus the Bengals, barring any pregame setbacks. He's at home, so he's probably scored 45 points. I'm just kidding.
DPJ.
But he is at home. DPJ's Amari's playing.
Yeah, but he's injured.
Oh, he'll be fine. I'm telling you, the fairy magic will take over because he's playing at home.
I thought it was the other way around, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm not going to put money on that.
I'll look it up later because I'm hoping I'll get it wrong. I put this in there at the last moment because I read a little bit about Trevor Lawrence. Zay Jones, Jaguars wide receiver, limited all week. Chest seems to be on the right side of questionable. Yeah, so that's 2 days ago.
Man, the Jaguars really need to get some better receivers.
Yep. I definitely will talk about him later in the asking for a friend segment.
God.
Chiefs
Anyone
downgrade.
But.
What? Ridiculous. Some people don't have the luxury of going with anything but I do think I have some better options. Chiefs downgrade wide receiver Kadarius Toney to out. Mike McDaniel says Tyreek Hill's illness is gone. Traylon Burks concussion has been ruled out for Week 14. Wide receivers Nico Collins and Brandon Cooks, one with a foot, one with a calf, both out. Hayden Hurst, tight end. Bengals? Who the heck does he play for nowadays?
The Bengals.
It is the Bengals. I saw Browns in my head and Falcons. I'm like, what is going on here? Calf injury. He is out. Hayden Hurst out with a calf injury. That's all I've got, folks.
Okay.
XA.
Pretty sure there's more than that. But...
I know, right? That's what I said, but I don't see anything else.
I haven't, honestly, I don't really feel like I've been getting that many alerts on Sleeper recently. So
those are the ones
maybe
I just included. My phone blows up about, late night Saturday.
Oh, mine didn't last night for some reason. Anyways.
I think we covered all those anyway. Sorry. Oh, yeah, dude. At Carolina, 3.2 points. At home, 20.6, 19.6. At Atlanta, 1.4. At home, 17.1, 12.
Okay, so I got it wrong. Whatever, dude. I thought for some reason I heard it was like he was doing better on the road than at home, and I was like, that's weird.
He did at Buffalo. 27. That was his best game of the season. At Buffalo, 27.3.
Interesting.
And he will play today, folks. For sake, check the old Chatterooski. Yep, nothing.
Let's never call it that again.
Let's call it the old Chatterooski.
Let's not do that
for Josh's sake. Sing while you do it. Sing while you do it. He loves when you sing.
Checking the old Chatterooski.
Yep, that's exactly what we would needed this morning. So asking for a friend.
Nope. Not a friend.
Zay Jones at the Titans. It's a pretty good matchup.
That is a very good matchup.
J.K. Dobbins at Steelers, formerly discussed. Or Pacheco at Denver. Ooh.
Dude, because I don't know what's going on with Dobbins, like as far as usage and everything, it's not the greatest matchup. I probably have to say Zay Jones, just based on the matchup.
Half point.
And it's not like he's been scoring like, single digit points on a weekly basis. Like he has had some decent games. Zay Jones, that is.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why are you turning your nose up at him?
No, I was just making a joke because Zay Jones is actually not that great of a receiver, but he's been doing okay for the Jaguars. I almost said the Chargers.
Target machine. I think he's like probably 8th in the league or whatever. I did use him as week 13. Didn't work out at all. 2 catches, 16 yards. Before that, 22 fantasy points, 10.8. 6.5, 5, 8.8. But 10 targets, 14 targets, 10 targets.
It's because I don't have much else.
Tennessee's awful versus the receiver, to your point.
Okay, Chris, I have an asking for a friend, which is really just me. I could play Nick Chubb's an automatic in already, but I have Travis Etienne versus the Titans, or I could play James Conner versus the Patriots tomorrow, on J.K. Dobbins versus the Steelers, or I could pivot to Jerry Jeudy. So Etienne, Dobbins, Conner, Jerry Jeudy. You did not say that Cortland Sutton has been ruled out for this week.
You?
And then Mike Williams is going to play.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. That snuck up on me. Whoa. Holy mother of pearl. That's right. I said it.
I could also play Debo Samuel too.
2 days ago, ruled out hamstring. You could play Debo. Why wouldn't? Has he been bad lately?
Yeah, he's not been scoring well at all.
Oh, and Mr. Relevant too at quarterback.
I'm not really too scared about that one. Like, I wonder if last week because it's been a thing, like when like a backup quarterback comes in, or a backup running back comes in the middle of the game, and all of a sudden they explode. Well, that's because teams weren't planning on those guys, and if they have different styles, especially when like a backup quarterback comes in, usually like the wide receiver 2 or 3 starts getting targeted more because not always, but sometimes because they're used to throwing to them in practice.
If they get first team reps with the wide receiver 2, maybe more like 3 or 4. But yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe that was some of what happened with Purdy last week because he wasn't bad.
He was
pretty good,
flat out good. And the limited.
Did you like that? Did you like that pun there?
Yeah. Anyone listening? Sorry.
Yeah, I said he was pretty good.
Pretty good. Nice. Yeah, I didn't stop one San Francisco fan in a chat I like to frequent to sing his praises. Might have seen something on Twitter or something that was like, he is the guy or the man or he is him or whatever kids say nowadays. And I'm just like, dude, he's a backup quarterback. Came into the game, no pressure at all. I mean, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose the game. We're already losing. Oh, okay, I don't know if they're actually losing when he came in, but it was in the balance. And, that's like to your point. A, they're not prepared for the backup. Punch my microphone. B, he has no pressure at all. Now he's the guy, not only preparing this week with the ones for the first time, he's also the guy moving forward for weeks on end.
So through the end of the season, most likely.
Yeah, exactly. So I expect him to come crashing back down to earth. Why am I forgetting who they play?
The Bucks.
Yeah. The Bucks are really good versus the run.
Yeah, and even then, they're not that great this year. I mean, they're not as good as they have been in years past, where it's like you see the Bucks on the schedule for your running back, and you're like, fuck. Like they're like there's a chinks in the armor. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
Still a good, very good run defense, but not as elite as they were in the last 2 or 3 years.
So I'm a little hesitant with Debo there. I keep coming back to Dobbins. I think they just want to give him the ball. But I think you had one other better option. I'm sorry. Who were the other
said
two?
ETN, Dobbins, James Conner, or Debo, I guess.
Titans are pretty darn good versus the run.
Or Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy has an okay matchup against Kansas City. And no Cortland Sutton. So, possibilities.
Yeah, I'm looking up Travis Etienne. Not a whole heck of a lot. Bye week. What happened?
I have on my dynasty team. I have one person on bye this week, and it's Deion Jackson. I'm sorry, 2. Taylor Heineke as well. I have 5 quarterbacks on my dynasty roster. What the hell is wrong with me?
Right.
I'm sort of playing keep away from Keith as well. So
yeah,
his quarterback situation isn't the greatest.
Yeah, he picked up either Purdy or one of the other backups that have.
I picked up Huntley and Purdy this week.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's why you have 5. All right.
Like I said, I'm playing quarterback keep away from him.
Oh, jeez.
Not that those are great options, but I'm going to make sure that they're on my team and not his.
I might go Connor. New England's got to be decent versus the run off the top of my head.
They're quite good against the run.
They're playing pretty well. I think it's Connor or Dobbins.
Not ETN?
He hasn't played well lately. I'm worried.
Really hasn't.
I'm worried it's also not going to be a lot of points scored because Tennessee doesn't usually put up a lot of points, so it's not like they'll dump off to ETN a lot. Like I would thought they would have. That's why I looked him up.
Yeah, it's so weird that they're not throwing the ball at ETN and using him as a receiver. Like, it's just
baffling.
It's odd. Yeah, it's very baffling. All right,
Debo's probably the better player, but whole Purdy conversation we just had.
Well, that and he's not like racking up fantasy points either this year.
Let's Targets are fine. Flex worthy this week. I mean, that's clear. Yes, even on name.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch
Tampa's
it
no
from...
slouch. Guess that. Like Connor.
I'm gonna switch it to Dobbins. I'm not really playing for anything.
You could withstand a loss.
I don't want to lose.
I know, but I'm just saying, play for upside with Dobbins. I mean, if it's a three-headed monster, I'm an idiot, and I was wrong. But I might even play him over Zay in that example I gave you.
Really?
Maybe.
Huh.
Wonder Tech.
WT in the he?
Can't remember. Definitely not. Weekly show.
I can't pivot to Jerry Jeudy. It has to be another running back. That's right. I'll leave it with ETN.
Same for Debo.
Now.
Same for Debo, right?
Yeah. Ooh, cold in here.
Green. Chark was my sleeper.
I picked up Chark in a league and I'm playing him today. I was like, I can't believe that this guy is available after,
Was it friends with benefits?
Maybe. I don't know. I've went through all my leagues this morning, or most of them.
He was one of the ones I was considering. Yep. He's on your roster. Well, darn.
Oh, darn. Doggone it.
The other guy I was considering. Go ahead and do that now.
Gotta say, I'm still a little peeved by the NFL making 6 teams on bye in week 14. They're not the greatest teams in the world, but still, for a league that has sort of semi-embraced fantasy football and really kind of owes a lot of the popularity, the modern day popularity of the NFL to fantasy football, it's kind of spitting in fantasy football players' faces,
I agree.
I could see there being a week 14 bye if they move to an 18 team or 18 game season and there's 2 buys, like an early on bye and a later bye, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, because that would be more in the realm of player safety and player health,
Right.
Which they say
week 14, like that's just.
So.
Anyways, I don't really have any much else. What about you, Chris?
I don't think so. I mean, my dynasty team is already discussed, hanging on by a thread, and all my decisions are made for me basically, and they're not pretty. Pretty sure I'm starting like Adam Thielen this week, maybe even Terrace Marshall.
God, yeah, Adam Thielen has been really disappointing.
Maybe go both Cowboys receivers. Dumb. But...
I the more I know CD was one of your guys this week, and the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I think you should really temper expectations with CD Lamb this week. Like the Texans gonna barely have an offense put together, It's gonna be Davis Mills with no one to throw to. Don't really have a deep running back.
Zeke all day long.
Oh, Dameon Pierce, I guess, but what?
And Pollard and Zeke all day long.
I just think the man, we could even see some of these like 3rd or 4th string guys that are for some reason on your dynasty roster. I know why they are, but I don't even know their names anymore.
I have to start CD Lamb. He's also the wide receiver 6 of the season. And
no. I'm not saying that he's been a bad wide receiver. But... I'm just saying it's just, they could easily be somewhere halfway through the 3rd quarter and just be like, all right, guys, just take a break. Backups, come on in.
Right. Yeah, and I mentioned that in my analysis, but I'm not that worried about it.
Okay. Would you bet that
because of those reasons I will not start Gallup for sure.
I thought you said something about both of the Cowboys receivers. I'm like, no.
Right. Yeah. No, I have them. Yeah. I'm a Thielen instead, and what I hope is a shootout.
Would you bet that CD scores at least 15 fantasy points this week?
Probably, because, yeah, right around that actually is what I made him a rolling back. Pardon me. Where is he? CD. High-end wide receiver 2. Yeah. I mean, if you made it over and under 15, I'd probably go. God, that's close. Literally, he was averaging 14.62 against what would be conceived as other good. 14.62 against other good passing defenses. I think it was 3 games, 4.
We'll call it 14.5 points over under.
Over. Then I take the over.
Okay, I'll take the under, and I will look forward to getting $20 from you.
That's not how bets go, sir. I didn't agree to bet $20.
Well, you said you would bet, so that's the bet, $20. Mr. Wonder Tech here has a question. He says Zay Jones, Bam Knight, Deontay Johnson out. That just not even in consideration. Deontay Johnson. I'm going Juju in this one actually. It's a bad matchup for Juju, but
Chiefs get the Broncos though.
Yeah, or Travis Homer. He says. Who are the Seahawks playing again? They're playing. It's a good matchup for the running back. I can't remember who it is. Is it Arizona?
Oh, is he the guy for Seattle? It's such a cluster F. I mean, isn't... Oh, that's a one update I didn't touch on. Kenny Walker. Unlikely to play. Ankle. Isn't in line to play.
See, to me, it's down to Zay Jones or Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, that's where.
Because Deontay Johnson has been putrid, and Juju's been good at times, but it's a really good matchup, or a really bad matchup for Juju.
Sorry, really bad matchup.
Really hard matchup.
I think I got to go Zonovan Knight. I think he's just. Yeah, I understand this probably a 3-headed monster, but I think he's done enough. And they're
how's it a 3-headed monster?
The other guy, Carter's back, and then what's his name?
I don't think James Robinson's going to factor in much at all.
Oh no, it was the other guy.
Even the other guy, I don't care about that much.
Yeah, well, he was getting work.
He's a warm body.
It was a warm body who was taking carries away from Zonovan and Carter.
Going Zay Jones. And this is what it's come to, Chris.
Yeah.
It's a really easy matchup for the Jags versus the Titans passing D. So it's like it's gonna so blow up in our faces.
I think
it's gonna be like Christian Kirk.
You're kind of right on
like
Ty
Marvin
Johnson.
Jones.
4 carries, 5 carries, 1 carry. However, week 13 he got 7 targets. That was with no Carter. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Carter and Zonovan, which makes me feel even better about the Zonovan.
And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it comes back to a James Robinson healthy scratch again. I'm betting he'll suit it up, but it really wouldn't surprise me if he was a healthy scratch, because that happened a couple weeks ago, and I was like, really? But if you start thinking about it more and more, it's like, yeah, maybe it could happen again.
It's basically Ty Johnson or James Robinson. Ty Johnson will play special teams. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
For the Jets. So, again, not that worried. I'm sorry, 4 carries. That was an 11% snap percent. 4 carries, Mr. Robinson, week 13. Ooh. Yeah.
Here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Bam McKnight. I keep calling him McKnight. God bless it.
It's not Jordan McKnight.
I know. No, remember that guy that I looked up that played for the Jets, wore number 25.
Yeah, but Jordan McKnight's an R&B singer.
He is. Great. The other guy, I think, literally had the first name similar. I think it started with
I believe it's Joe. John?
Yep. There you go.
Jimmy.
Joe McKnight. R.I.P.
Jacob.
You got it the first time, sir.
Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai. His stuff's kind of fun, actually.
Jerome.
Jam one of his songs off one of his albums. Like
Is it the one with the music video on the moving floor?
Doesn't it light up? Is it moving or it lights up?
Moving.
Yeah, it might be that one. I don't remember.
I believe the song was called Virtual Insanity.
Yep. No, that's the big hit. You're right. That's why you mentioned that one, because that is the bigger hit. No, it was a different one. In fact, a couple songs on that album I liked. Not sure if it was the same album with Virtual Insanity. I think it was, but he got a lot more albums than you'd think. And I saw a new song of his pop up. I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. So that was the end of that.
I can say that I've heard literally one Jamiroquai song in my life.
I've heard many more than that. I can't say many in comparison to other songs I've heard, but yeah.
I celebrate his entire catalog.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's groovy, funky. Or with some funk in your life.
Okay.
There's problems with funk in your shorts. That would be a concern.
Funk in your shorts?
On that note.
What is funk in your... Why would there be... Let's not explore this anymore, Chris. So what was your answer to Mr. Wondertech?
Zonovan Bam Knight.
I'm going
Not
Zay
to be
Jones.
confused with an R&B singer.
Oh, Chris, would you like to bet another $20 on Zay Jones versus Donovan Knight?
I'm not betting another 20 because I never bet 20.
Okay, $10 on each bet. I'll take 20 from you one way or the other.
I'm not a gambling man in that regard.
When was the last time you went to a casino, Chris?
When I was like 21.
Really?
Might have been like 22 or 23. I don't remember. Yeah, we were at Chili's and we all got... Actually, we were at Clicks, a pool hall that we always drink at after work at Chili's with a bunch of chili folk. And we all got a wild hair up our ass and decided to go to Shreveport and gamble all night and all morning.
Really?
That might be the only time I've ever been to a casino.
Really?
Yep. I'm not a gambler. It's never done.
I'm not either, really. Like I don't I actually like playing poker. Or I did back when I played it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked playing in tournaments. I didn't like playing cash games.
One of the reasons I stay away from daily fantasy, honestly.
Tournament style poker is like way different than cash. Like you're it's not way different, like the rules are the same, but it's a different strategy in tournament versus cash games. But yeah, I liked playing poker tournaments, and I liked I just like slot machines. Like just give me a gun and and I'll beat myself to death instead of playing a slot machine. Like
right? Yeah, it's not
like it's just so boring. You know, like I don't get how people like get.
I don't like that. There's
every slot machine has different rules, and I'm I don't understand what the hell's going on. Like I'm not a dumb person, but like I'm just and I don't want to understand either. Like I just don't care. You know, like it's.
I don't like that they. I say popping up. They've probably been there for a whole minute, but I don't like that they're popping up just at legit corner gas stations. Like a quarter or half of the building is dedicated to slots and games, and I'm like,
oh, dude, when they legalized gambling here for a quick minute in Iowa, they had slot machines everywhere. Like, dude, you go to the store and they were in the grocery store, and I'm like,
I don't like it.
And there were people playing it. I'm like, you're at the freaking grocery store. Like, what?
Oh, and there was this. This is more legit gambling. Than
it was so dumb.
That. Yeah, I think those are kind of scuzzy. I don't appreciate that. It's a bunch of senior citizens maybe not nowadays, but they used to be smoking cigarettes all up in there. Heck, I went to a liquor. Oh, I was in Florida. I was trying to find a certain mix or liquor. I mean, we're in Florida. We're on vacation. We're doing margaritas and pina coladas and whatever we want at the house. So I'm looking. I had to hit up a couple
margaritas and pina coladas.
Right, because I don't know my way around, and legit half of it was like a cocktail bar. They're smoking cigarettes, and I just come in and I smell them. I'm like, oh god. And there's slots, and I'm like, come on, man. But whatever. I know fantasy football is technically gambling. It's just not my cup of tea. I have been known to be addicted to other things, so I draw the line there. And I'm not a big cards guy. There's a new streaming site. A couple of folks I watch occasionally on YouTube covered it. This relatively famous streamer, Trainwreck. Trainwrecks with a Z, whatever his name is, started it, and it's so hilarious because it's like they didn't even discuss the fact that it's owned and promoted by a gambling company. He had been kicked off of Twitch for gambling multiple times, and they're literally using the exact same servers and code and stuff as Twitch. It's a facsimile of Twitch, and it's like, hey, come here and like stick it to the man, except we're literally paying Twitch to use all this stuff, and we're pretty much just promoting gambling. I don't like that because any 13-year-old can jump on Twitch and start watching and be influenced in the wrong direction. I don't like that. No more than I would like somebody smoking cigarettes or something on Twitch. It's just like, come on, guys. I guess people drink.
People
smoke. I guess I drink on Twitch, so there you go. I'm a complete and utter hypocrite.
yeah, I was gonna say you drink while you stream.
Yeah,
I mean, that's true. People smoke like all the time. Like, you know, I guess smokers are becoming less and less and less, but.
Yeah,
you know, that's something like, so like, okay, so that's speaking of smokers, you would think that like tobacco industries would be like heavily investing in like the marijuana trade, you know, like legalizing marijuana and getting like in on that. Like, wouldn't if you were like a higher up exec at big tobacco, like say RJ Reynolds or whatever,
kind of like the marriage
Philip Morris and
smoking, you they go hand in hand. If you hand in hand's too strong, because
but I mean, as one is slowly getting put out, the another one is rising. Why wouldn't you get in on that? Like oil companies too. Like wouldn't you think, like if you're an oil company, I'd be like, man, our company has an end date, and that is when fossil fuel runs out.
Yeah. What you think?
So
electric,
like renewable energy, like I so would, you know, like I'd be pioneering that shit, man. Like, just
they're all old billionaires. They're just gonna take it.
Why would we spend money on research for something when we can watch our bank accounts go up and up and up by doing the exact same thing that we've been doing for hundreds of years?
Yeah, at the cost of the planet. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like
I have my own bias view on that. Not in favor of oil and gas and destroying the planet, but I don't know. I can get a little too pumped up about it, so I'd rather not. But yeah, it's just money. That's the answer. That's the long and short of it.
So okay, we were talking about you sent me a text the other day about gas.
Oh yeah.
What
did I amend that? So, like, I told you in person. Well, not in person. I told you on live that it was car wash. That $2.89 was a car wash price.
Okay, regardless, does your gas like? So I was driving around yesterday because I have to put miles on my piece of shit car, and dude, I was driving all over the place, all these small towns and everything, and like right now, the gas station right across the way from me, $2.99. That's the gas price. Good. But it also goes somewhere in the range of $2.99 to $3.49, and it just depends. I'm like, it's a 50-cent price. Like, and even in North Liberty, like 3 miles down the road, 50-cent difference. I'm like, what the hell?
That's ridiculous.
Like, you know that there's gas way cheaper over there, right?
I guess the answer is just.
I almost like want to drive by and be like, don't get gas there. Go up there.
Yeah. Hey,
save yourself some money.
Out your window. Yeah, for real. No, I saw the exact same thing. The two closest, I guess, bigger communities I lived here, Aurora and Naperville, and I was out that direction for a minute, and yeah, it was $3.40, $3.50, and I was like, what the heck, man? It was just $3.02 back there, which is exciting, you know, for my boomer self. Heck, you know, I might be, because I'm not finding anything more, let's say, lucrative. I'm not finding a job as quickly as I'd hope. So maybe do some DoorDash, and hey, gas prices would directly affect that. I don't know. Guess that's just my short point of view there. It's good to see gas prices going down for all of America.
But it always does in the wintertime. And then next summer they'll go back up again.
Oh, because nobody goes anywhere.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why that is.
Not either. I would assume it's because people don't want to go. I don't want to go anywhere. It's freaking cold. Well, it's not that bad right now, to be fair.
It's really not.
I think we're supposed to do something today,
Chris says as I'm looking at the time or the date, and it's December 11th, I'm ready for some S word.
I'm okay with that.
I like to have a white Christmas.
That's fine.
Definitely, it makes it feel more Christmassy. And also, I'm really sick of just the brown and gray. You know, like
it is very gray and brown. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm like brown and gray. I'm like mix some snow up into this bitch because.
And in my experience, which is getting more and
more. A lot, and because you're old.
Well, no, just my experience as a Midwesterner, because I've been up here for I don't know, more than a decade, whatever. It's not always so gosh darn cold when it's snowing because you gotta have moisture in the air. You know, it's when it's so dry and it's -2 that it's just I don't like it, dude. But with snow, at least I know I'm probably hovering somewhere around, I don't know, 25 to 32. Well, 32 is a little too close to almost melting. But you know what I mean. It's usually reasonable, bearable temperatures when it's snowing as opposed to when it's not and it's February and it's just like bitter to the bones cold. Can't stand it. Hate it. So for that reason and for a white Christmas, I sure would like a little snow. But other than that, outside of that, I'm a pain in the arse. I got a driveway I have to shovel.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I know. Remember the lawn mowing conversation we had a few weeks back?
Not exactly.
It's something along the same lines if you don't have one, so why would you care?
I do enjoy mowing a lawn. I do not enjoy shoveling.
It is kind of nice sometimes. I got mine all hemmed up and got my leaves picked up. Got them to the curb. We have pretty nice service around here. They'll come up and suck up the leaves with this big old leaf sucker truck.
Yeah, that's how they remove leaves, dude.
You'd be surprised. Some people are like, oh, that's so much more efficient than... I'm like, well, I don't know how... I think you have to bag them. I think that's what some folks have to do.
Who?
I don't know. Folks.
Dude, I'm pretty sure my entire life is how they have been dealing with leaf removal is sucking it up with a big ass vacuum cleaner.
Some communities may not be able to afford that.
You know what I have to say to that? Sucks to be them.
Exactly. That's my point.
Is that really a thing? Wow.
I don't know. I remember somebody some time ago being pleasantly surprised that that's how our leaves are done. But it's probably my mom who lives in Texas. They probably don't have that in the South.
That's what I'm like, does this person
they
live
still
in
have
the Midwest?
leaves, though. They still have leaves. I don't know if you just mow over them. I'm not opposed to that, but I can't remember who it was, but it might have been somebody from the South, and it was like, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
yeah, that's how they do that.
The other thing is, being a dumb Southerner that I am, whatever. Now, to be fair, before I didn't have a leaf blower, but I would rake. But I thought I was pretty smart.
I like the rake.
You do?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm okay without it. I've gotten pretty accurate with the leaf blower.
I hate the leaf
but
blower.
I would use a big ass tarp, and I would rake it onto the tarp, drag it to the curb,
that's what you
dump
do.
it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty clever figuring that out. I didn't look it up or watch somebody do it. I was like, this seems much more efficient. And then for a year or so, when I did have the leaf blower, I think I still went with the tarp and the rake. Most recently this year and probably last year, I might have gone strictly leaf blower.
Dude, there was so like obviously this was like maybe probably a month and a half ago or so. I was out walking Dora on the weekend, and I walked by this house, and this person's lawn was freaking immaculate. Like there was not nary a leaf on there, and then I watched a little leaf like fall onto it, and I was like, yes. Like I was envisioning someone from inside running out and grabbing that leaf and like throwing it into the street or something. Because like I looked at the lawn next to it, and the lawn next to it was pretty good, but this lawn there was not a leaf on it. It looked like the leaf had never fucking touched.
I'm the guy who waited till the last minute to do my blowing and raking. And,
I'm not surprised by that one bit.
We got a huge windy day. In fact, it was more like a couple days back to back of a lot of wind, a lot of big gusts. Big? Fast? Fast.
Big.
Yeah, we'll go thick. Thick? No, it's not
big.
Thick.
I didn't say thick. I said big. A big, right. Big gusts of wind.
Gusts. All right, so thick gusts.
This is going downhill real quick.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure some of my leaves blew in the neighbor's yard. Don't really care.
That's what happens with leaves. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I hear like sometimes I hear people at work like, man, all my neighbors leaves bloom in your yard. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Put up like a 40-foot fence so it never happens? Like, I put a dome over your yard so that you don't get in your neighbor's leaves in there. Like,
Spend half
man,
half the day out there with your leaf blower in hand at the border of your.
Like, you're like, oh, it's trying to get over me.
Playing like keepy uppy with a balloon in your living room with your kid. No, you can't touch it. On that note, let's skedaddle.
Okay.
Been like
bye, everyone. Have a good luck with your fantasy week.
Good luck with your matchups. Hope you make the playoffs. I hope I beat you if I'm playing you. And until next.
You're not.
Well, not you, just whomever.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, they're probably not listening right now. But anyway, I don't know. Do we have a looky ahead for next week? What do we playoff? Same format though, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same format for
Thursdays.
probably 2 or 3 more weeks, and then we'll do a recap, and then we'll go jump into the ocean.
Sounds good. Until then, folks, have an amazing fantasy weekend.
Good luck.